Welcome back to the Break the Ring podcast. I'm your host, Jonas.
I'm his co-host, Parker.
And we're back with the IRL stuff. Hopefully the audio is better this time. If not, that sucks.
Producer's fault.
Believe it or not, this is 2 weeks after the last one, even though Parker's wearing the same outfit. We got some stuff to go over. We gotta go over some WrestleDream predictions. We gotta go over the BTR Predictions Championship. We gotta go over Parker's Reign of Terror that may be starting soon. And, anything you want to talk about before we get into the main stuff? You want to talk about anything from TNA, Joe Hendry's status, if you still believe?
I didn't bring this up last week. Why would you make a Joe Hendry Boston shirt, sell it at the merch stands at the arena, which...
They were selling it there?
They were selling it at the arena.
There's no way.
And then he just doesn't show up.
You know what that means, though? That means that's their poster child. If he's getting shirts and he's on it at the event, he has to be, the main attraction.
So, dude, if he's... how crazy would it be if Cena fought Hendry in Boston?
That's just not happening.
If that happens, you don't understand how crazy I'd go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Alright, get into Raw.
Sorry, Jimmy from the Q's the GOAT. Speaking of Jimmy from the Q, I always gotta say this. Jimmy, if you're watching this somehow, I love you, bro. Ever since I opened my DMs to try and talk to Patty Pitts, I've been getting some crazy requests. But I think they're just all bots. You know what I mean? But we'll be talking about Raw from the 13th and that week forward. Also, my allergies are bad, so please excuse my runny nose. So we're going to start off with Raw. Opening segment was just a recap for Crown Jewel, where the new Crown Jewel champion Seth Rollins and his faction, The Vision, come out celebrating his win.
Like every week.
Rollins emphasizes that he doesn't need the Vision, but shows them a line that would prove to be pivotal in the night. I wasn't watching. We went to TNA, so I didn't wake up till 10. So I caught the main event, luckily, because I didn't get spoiled for that. But I woke up late, because we got home 12:30. I can only imagine when you woke up, because you got home at 1:30.
I'll just bring this. So I woke up at 9:30, and Jonas was saying, "Did you watch Raw?" And I said no. And when I hopped on, I'm not going to, well, I mean, it's not really spoiling, but I'm not going to say it. But when I joined is right as the crazy thing happened in the main event. And I'm like, and I had no clue what led up to this.
Me neither.
But I joined, and Bronson's midair.
I mean, it was probably, the best thing I could ever wake up to. I open up Netflix, and it's just CM Punk versus Jey Uso versus LA Knight #1 contendership. And I was like, hey, anybody but Jey Uso. Anybody but Jey Uso anybody but Jey Uso, and my morning starts great. And Jey Uso didn't win, so that was great. But yeah, it was an okay promo. It wasn't anything crazy. We really only cared about the part where he's talked about how he doesn't need the Vision, but then Roman needed the Shield and all that. He's going back to Roman, which is like, bro, just get it over with. We get you hate the guy. We then had a tag match with Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus the Judgment Day, Roxanne and Raquel. Bayley and Valkyria teamed up against Perez and Rodriguez. Valkyria took the more aggressive role, and during the match, she slapped Bayley midway through to wake her up and shift momentum to gain the win. I really like that they're showing the waking up of Bayley in a way where she's not totally crazy, and Lyra's trying to figure out how to get her to just kind of cooperate and be normal. I think this character is getting better. I wasn't liking it at first because they were making Lyra look like an idiot. You've heard me talk about that with how they're like, oh, she doesn't know how she's going crazy, but she knows she's going crazy, so it was just kind of weird. But I thought the match was fine. I'll throw it over to Parker.
Yeah, he kind of took what I was going to say in a way, but I was saying, the first few weeks, especially when we did our first, in-person pod, I did not really enjoy where the Bayley thing was going, especially because, two characters and, two different personalities. It just kind of... I didn't really enjoy where it was going, but I'm still a little confused in a way, but at the same time, it's starting to, the pieces are starting to come together. And, yeah, I like how you said, Lyra's trying to help her, or, trying to figure out how to get her to be normal, or, try to get one thing in. But, yeah, I thought the match was alright.
Yeah, it was fine. It was a good opener. We then had Rhea Ripley versus Kairi Sane, a little bit of an aftermath from their Crown Jewel matchup. Rhea had control for most of the match in the beginning. Sane then got a comeback, aided by some interference from Asuka. But in the end, Ripley picked up the win with her Riptide. After the match, she was attacked by Asuka and Kairi. And, yeah, it was alright.
Yeah, the match was fine, I guess. I mean,
It was just kind of filler.
Yeah, it was just more of like, keeping everything going.
Man, I got to talk about this. Dominic Mysterio versus Penta for the Intercontinental Championship match. What are they doing with Dom, man? Like, I know that his next championship match is apparently going to be the biggest of his career, with what is being said.
Imagine,
I saw.
A lot of people
I
think
I know what you're going to talk about.
Because Cena teased it, people think he's going to hit it in San Diego.
Yeah, he might.
And on Dom would be.
I know someone, Mr. John Moonsall, who will freak out if and when he hits that, because if you know lore, you know lore. But like, I hate that Dom just isn't. He isn't getting new challengers. He's got the Tiffany Stratton curse. He had Rusev, and that was fine to show that he could do stuff on his own.
Like,
he was picking up the Eddie stuff.
Sorry to interrupt, but like Penta, same thing. Like always Penta.
It's always the same people. Same with, like I said, Tiffany always fighting Nia, and then she has the match with Stephanie, and it was a great match. People finally remember that she's a good wrestler.
If I'm being honest, I can't name another challenger besides Penta.
It's literally Penta, Rusev, and then maybe Sheamus. I don't even remember.
I was gonna say Sheamus, but I wasn't certain.
I don't even know. This Dominic Mysterio run has been awful, and
it's
shouldn't
not
have to be.
It's not that Dom's a bad wrestler. No, he's good, but it's just the booking.
It's the same as Tiffany, where it's not their fault. It's the writers don't know what to do with them. I don't know why they're not going to Finn. Like, they're building it up. They need to stop doing.
No,
they need to stop doing the A-Town down
thing.
under. Oh, that's gonna be so bad. They need to do the A-Town. They can't do the A-Town down under because they literally ruined the storyline by waiting too long, and then Austin Theory gets injured and they write him off. Stupidest thing they have done in recent memory. But I'm probably forgetting stuff. But they need to stop doing this, which is why they had Braun do what he does at the end of the show. But in the end, Mysterio successfully defended his Intercontinental Championship, trying to tie Penta's mask to the ropes, and then using the Timekeeper's bell or hammer to assist his win.
Can I talk about the AI thing here?
If you want to.
All right. Why are we using AI to write matches? I saw this thing. Somebody put into ChatGPT, write a story about
I don't know how true
Cody
this is,
and
though.
Drew.
I don't know how true
and
this is.
it could be just something like they just told him to say, but at the same time, like they said like write a story like a SmackDown ending to Cody and Drew, and it was exactly what happened. It's exactly what happened to the T of what happened at the end of SmackDown. Jacob gets attacked backstage. Drew and Cody have an impromptu match, and it ends in DQ because Cody's all pissed. And that's exactly what happened on SmackDown. Jacob got what I think was Randy attacked backstage.
Doing a little test. I put in the ChatGPT, and I don't usually use it. Rise SmackDown ending featuring Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu, and Drew McIntyre. You keep talking. I'm gonna wait for this to load.
But yeah, I was just like, I don't understand why to use AI. Like, I understand it can be... Like, I'm not saying it's not hard to write stories, because it is, and it has to be. Especially if you want them to be unique and something people haven't seen before. But to use AI, it makes it not... Did I see Pat McAfee? Fade to Black.
Okay, I don't think... I'm guessing
Fade
that was...
to Black.
I don't know. That was awful.
That was weird.
That's just showing you why they shouldn't do it. They had like a good spot, and then it was dumb.
Yeah, it's better for them to be organic.
They're talking about Fatu being in the bloodline still. If AI is doing this, it's gonna be bad. But I also, when we get to SmackDown, I'll talk about something I saw if I remember, because I say that I'm gonna talk about something often and then I forget. So don't hold me to that. We then had Bronson Reed versus Jimmy Uso. Don't think I was watching this match. I think I was like in the shower or something. I don't even know. What are you?
I'm trying to communicate with him.
Stop. But yeah, Bronson Reed, Jimmy Uso. It's a match, and it happened. He had the Tsunami, and he picked up the win. That's cool. The main event, the triple threat contendership match. CM Punk versus Jey Uso versus
Do you think
LA
AI wrote this too? Because Punk
Knight.
won, and that's not really realistic.
Yeah, no. You talk about it because I'm going to sneeze.
Yeah.
Punk, Jey, and LA Knight battle for the number one contendership spot for the World Heavyweight Championship. Punk hit the GTS on Jey for the pinfall win, securing the number one contendership status. After the match, the Vision and Seth Rollins come out to face off against the future champion, future challenger, CM Punk. Yo, Jada, I want to open that window real quick. Breaker and Reed attack Seth Rollins. Paul Heyman aligns with them. The Vision faction effectively split from their leader. Rollins left defenseless and with no protection. Braun basically was saying to both Bronson and Paul, if you're not with me, then you're against me. Similar to what Seth was saying in the beginning with Jay and Sammy, all that stuff. I think it was a good turn. It smells bad in here, guys.
It doesn't smell. He's so overreacting. Anyway, but what I was saying, when I turned on my TV, the first thing I saw was Bronson midair, and I saw down, and it was like some like extravagant long suit, and I saw it was Seth, and I'm like, there's no way. So I went back like a few minutes, and I saw Braun spear him, and then I just kept it going. I saw the tsunami again, and then I saw Paul raise their hands. This has to be it has to be impromptu because
it's definitely because Seth is injured.
Do you see that guy? That guy got his sign taken away. One of his signs taken away.
Oh, really?
It said, "Paige, come home."
Oh yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was a good turn. I wasn't expecting it at all. I know it's like crazy to say because but like I don't know. I thought it was a good ending. I thought it was shocking. I think this is for the better because I haven't really liked Paul with Seth, and it's not because he cashed in on Punk. It's just because Seth doesn't need somebody to talk for him. So he was just kind of standing.
He's good on the mic by himself.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the idea of Paul because Paul can make people can make factions themselves seem more.
He makes them look menacing. But the one thing that I'm praying to God doesn't happen.
It's another ruse.
Is Brock Lesnar is the new leader. I literally it'll be a bad crash out. It's already bad right now. If he is Speaking of, I was thinking about this. You remember when the Death Rider started, it was just Mox and Shafir, and we thought that it was going to be something to do with Shane McMahon?
Oh, yeah, because Shane was, like, talking to Coney
Ton.
I was going to say Coney Ton. I'd do that. I think I'm dyslexic.
I forgot about that. That's the funniest thing ever. Oh.
Alright.
Cool. But I forgot about that. I was thinking about it last night when the Death Riders match and all that. I was like, dude, we really thought this was going to be a Shane McMahon storyline.
I would have died. How funny would that have been?
I was praying to God it wasn't. But it wasn't. So far, at least. Now we're going to go. What? Yo, stop messing. You're going to break it.
No, I'm just looking.
This mother fluffer. It's falling. Pick that up, please. It's going to fall. It's wobbling. Put that on the ground, please. Gently. It's going to perish if you don't. Okay.
I hope you perish.
Also, me and Parker have been talking, and if somehow, some way, we hit 100K, we're going to do a 24-hour stream. It's probably never going to happen, but if it does, it'll be hilarious.
Playing 2K games?
Yes.
Here.
We're going to do it here. We're going to play Minecraft. We're going to play 2K. We're going to play WrestleMania 2000. We're going to find a way.
We can do that 100%.
We're going to find a way. But we're only at 39 subs right now. Also, if you're watching, shout out to my aunt. You know who you are. You watched the podcast last week, so if you're watching this, that's really cool. Shout out to Brielle, because she always wants me to shout her out. But, back to the actual stuff. We got to talk about Dynamite, as it was the go-home show for WrestleDream. Speaking of go-home shows, Jaden bought tickets for the November 19th Dynamite, the last Dynamite before Full Gear, and the first Dynamite after the first ever Women's Blood and Guts, so that'll be cool. We also got on the 30th... we will be seeing Dijak versus Cruel Kruger in a casket match.
I can't go.
And this, for an upgraded ticket price, you can get a picture with Kruger inside of the casket they will be using.
Oh. Wow.
So, that was pretty funny. But back to the stuff. Sorry for sidetracking a lot. The show opened Dynamite with the Hurting It versus the GOA. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, which, can we talk about the fact that Shelton Benjamin is 50 and he's murdering people with knees?
He looks good, man.
Yeah, I don't know how he's 50. I mean, that's insane. The guy doesn't age, so if that man gets a championship, I wouldn't be mad. Bishop Khan and Toa Leona upset the Hurt Syndicate, giving the Syndicate their first pinfall loss in AEW. Because when they lost the tag titles, Brodito pinned FTR. They haven't been pinned since. So, my thought was apparently there were inner talks about the Hurt Syndicate breaking up, which is why I picked the demand for the WrestleDream match.
I'm shocked.
We'll talk about that when we get there.
I'll bring it up. Yeah. I'm shocked.
But I also thought there's a chance that Cedric could make an appearance because we saw him last weekend. But
in TNA though, I don't see him going that quick.
But his contract was set to expire shortly after Bound for Glory.
But also, they might do a 30-day thing.
And also, Sean Ross Sapp said the Inspirations are working without a contract right now, but they're probably going to get an extension.
He said they're going to get an extension. I mean, they should.
It was a good match. It was fine. I mean, I love Shelton Benjamin, like I said. The Gates of Agony are really growing on me. I don't know about you. I know you don't really watch Dynamite that much, but I don't know. I thought it was a fun match.
I should start watching it more. Probably.
We then had an ROH Classic between Claudio Castagnoli and Roderick Strong, where Claudio picked up the win. A really strong and technical slugfest. Yeah, it was good. I always think it's funny that Shafir is Roderick Strong's wife. And she's been against him for the past, 4 weeks.
Oh my god, I know this is weird, but while we're on AEW, I thought to bring this up. I saw this thing that was it was a joke. It said that AEW tried to use AI for their shows, but they booked more than 2 women's matches, so they had to do it themselves.
You can say that for TNA, too.
Yeah, in a way.
Which, by God, Tessa Blanchard, you suck. Sorry.
She's a racist.
What? Say it louder. No, I'm kidding.
She's racist.
Oh, okay. We then had the AEW World Trio Championship on the line. The Ops, the champions, versus LFI. The Ops retain their titles against LFI, Roosh, Drillsco, and Mordos. It was fine. I did not watch this whole show because it was 3 hours.
It was?
Yep, it was Collision and Dynamite put together because yesterday, was WrestleDream, so they used it to get a little bit more in.
Oh, that's fair.
I was in the shower when this match happened, and then I fell asleep during OC and Kyle O'Reilly versus the Death Riders. But no, what I saw from OC and Kyle O'Reilly versus the Death Riders was very good. I want the Death Riders hoodie that Danny is wearing because it's so tough. But the Death Riders picked up the win.
I said Christmas gifts.
Oh. Death Riders got the win via interference. Also, me and Parker have talked about this. If we do Christmas presents, we are calling a mutual truce.
Yes, we are.
Because although I would love to get some revenge and put, Joe Hendry getting pinned by Trick.
I doubt they even sell those.
They probably do.
I mean, yeah. But the only reason they sell that is because that was, a huge moment, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, check.
We then had Jamie Hayter versus Sky Blue, which set up a promo which would set up the match between Jamie Hayter and Tekla for WrestleDream. And in the main event, it wasn't the main event. I'm lying to you guys. We had Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express versus Don Callis' family. It's basically the main event, though. Kenny Omega team with Jurassic Express, Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus to face the Don Callis family, consisting of Mark Davis, Josh Alexander, and Hechi Cero. And in the end, Omega's team picked up the win. After the match, Young was trying to ambush Jack Perry, but Omega and Luchasaurus thwarted them, signaling a renewed alliance and tension within the Elite, which is very, very important when we talk about WrestleDream, because my guy Jack Perry was throwing up the E so much. Even though the guy hates CM Punk, and CM Punk hates him, I respect them in their own ways. CM Punk will always be better, in my opinion.
But CM Punk.
Yeah, you can't.
He's also, to be fair, he's also had a longer career, so it's a little...
Yeah, Yeah. We had Mercedes Moné talking about her new nickname, Ultimo Moné, referring to Ultimo Dragon, who used to be the world record holder for most championships at once. But after WrestleDream, that has changed. And to close out the show, Darby Allin and Jon Moxley face off. Yeah, that's the show. It was a fine show. I caught up on the last parts the day after on the way to school. Yeah, I thought it was fun. Parker didn't watch though.
I didn't watch it, so that's my opinion.
And now we gotta talk about SmackDown, my favorite show of the week, honestly. Jeez, this allergies please go away. The show opened with Cody Rhodes addressing the #1 contendership for his title, where he talked about his loss at Crown Jewel and stated that he doesn't need to face his rival Seth Rollins again. Do you think that's true? Do you think he should ever fight Seth again? Do you think their story is done? Do they ever cross paths? Is it necessary that they don't? Is it necessary that they do? What are your thoughts on the rivalry?
I mean, I think eventually, maybe not even a rivalry, but say they both become a face again at some point, and Seth wins a #1 contendership.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And Cody's the champ. Nice voice crack. And Cody's the champ.
I just didn't voice crack. I said yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I just didn't.
But yeah, if like Seth ever it'd be nice to see another kind of a friendly bout, but not. I don't think they need to feud again. I think their rivalry's pretty set. Huh?
These chairs are so loud.
Just because you're.
No, don't even. Yours loud too. We then cut backstage. You're shaking the entire table. The general manager, Nick Aldis, announced that the scheduled match between Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre has now been turned into a #1 contendership match, where the winner will face Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. But I was a little confused. I'm pretty sure you were confused. I know Jaden was confused because Sean Ross Sapp was like, "Oh, Jacob Fatu will not be fighting tonight. He'll be replaced by Cody."
I was like, what the hell?
And that's why when Nick Aldis showed up, he was like, "I have something regarding the main event."
I
was
thought it was
he's
gonna
gonna
be-
say that there's no
Yeah.
main event at all. But no, he talked about the #1 contendership, and I was even more lost.
But thinking about it now, it makes sense. Like how they kind of set it up.
Yeah. Backstage attack on Jacob Fatu, where he's got his teeth knocked out, which the reason he couldn't wrestle is because he was recovering from a dental surgery. And I saw something, and I agree with it. What if Randy Orton punt kicked him? Because that would make sense.
Yes.
Because that is, if you get punt kicked, you're getting kicked right here.
Or just straight in the mouth.
I don't know.
He
It's
had
very
teeth knocked
likely.
out.
If
To be fair, he
think
does.
about it.
He does his actual injury is a tooth,
Yeah.
mouth. Dentist
But-
thing.
if you're Randy Orton and you're not getting the #1 contendership, and you've been wanting to hit that punt kick for 4.5 months. Actually, no, it's been more than that. It's been like a year and a half.
It's been like a year. Yeah.
He very well could have, but we'll talk about that more when we get to the main event because that was right then. The first match on the show was Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Zaruka for the Women's Tag Team Championships in a great match. My favorite tag team in Zaruka, well, for the women's side. It's kind of funny how both my favorite tag teams at this moment in time are both random pairs from NXT because we got Fraxium too.
At this point, they're not even random anymore.
Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss defended the WWE Tag Team Championships successfully against Zaruka. During the match, Blake Monroe was at ringside distracting Soul, and the interference allowed Flair to catch Soul off, what's the word? I forgot it, but it's whatever. The interference allowed Flair to catch Zaruka with the figure 8 and force the submission, where Flair and Bliss retain the titles. After the match, they show their respect. I like the match. I thought it was a pretty good one. I like Zaruka, did you see the whole thing where they're like, "Oh, they're not safe workers," because they tried to set like an F5 into a Soul Snatcher, and they're like, "Oh, it's not safe. Look at the way she landed." It was like, bro, it's a house show for a developmental. Calm down.
I really just wanted to see the open challenge.
Yeah, it was as
So
soon
I was in the bathroom
as
during this match.
as soon as basically what happened was somebody tagged V and it was "Are you ready?" and I was like, "What are they talking about?" And he was even what ready for what? And they were like, "Word on the street is that the Mad Dragon is back tonight." And Sammy hadn't even been announced to have an open challenge
Yeah,
yet. No, he hadn't.
Really?
They didn't talk about it all this week until the show started, because that was why Sammy talked to Nick, and he was like, "Am I doing an open challenge or not?" And he's like, "Oh, actually, I don't want you to because of the MFTs." And he was like, "I don't care. This is just if he said, I'm pretty sure he said something about if I skip this, it is in the open challenge, because then he stops for a week." And he said, "I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna fight." And so Sammy issued the open challenge, which was answered by The Miz, and I was praying to God, if we really wanted to, I could insert text, but I don't think anybody's going to call me a liar for this. I said it to Jaden, and then I texted it to Parker. I said, it's going to be Miz, and Melo better jump him. And luckily, he did. And when I saw Melo didn't have gear on, I was so happy. Because, I was like, oh, my God, it really could be time. And so they go away. Sammy looks confused as all heck. And me and Jaden are sitting there in suspense. I'll play my audio because I took a video of it and I sent it to Parker. You can hear both me and Jaden in this.
I'm safe in this place.
I don't feel safe in this house.
Wait, it's in my AirPod.
But yeah,
Wait, stop talking.
I think that's a little OD. But like, that's when people were like,
that stuff.
who's popping for that? Yeah. Okay, but people were saying he needs to be seen as retirement opponent. I think that's a little OD. But like, that's
Yeah.
when people were like, oh yeah, Kieran Cross needs to be the world champion. Don't think that.
Oh,
I think he
we were
just
talking
want
about-
a little bit of a push.
We were talking about if Ilya comes out, is he winning? That's what we're talking about. Bro, can you?
I
Alright, bro.
had it saved. Let me pull it up.
No.
Come on, Melo, please. Melo, do the work of a god. The god. Do the work of God. Please, 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 Melo. Melo, just murder the man and walk out. That's an SNME match. They can put that on the show.
We're talking about Melo and there.
Yes! Murder him, Melo.
Murder him.
Alright, now he needs an opponent. Now he needs an opponent. Oh, he took your opportunity the second time. You
Meanwhile,
chose.
my dad's on the couch, just silent.
Here we go. You guys are getting out of the way.
Okay.
It's Ilya.
Pop
There's
it.
no way. It's
Pop it.
Yep, here they go. It's gotta be Ilya. It's gotta be. There's no way it isn't at this
He
point.
doesn't shut up.
Come on. Please.
Yes! Yes! Let's go!
And I promise you, Jaden, the thing we were talking about, as I showed the video, was Jaden was like, dude, if he comes back, is he winning? And he does! He wins the U.S. title in his return match after a year. And the man's got this insane neck tattoo, and he's got no beard, and God,
He's
Ilya, I
jacked
hate
as
it.
ever.
I hate it with no beard because he looks like a killer, but at the same time it works for him.
I just want to say, my reaction, I wasn't even at home. I was at my grandparents, but I was laying down in the bed and it was on the
called
TV.
me.
And I like, I was just like, I couldn't do anything but smile, but I couldn't like yell because my grandparents were sleeping. But when he won, I FaceTimed Jonas and I'm like,
He was jumping back, and he was like,
I didn't say a word.
that's how I was when Punk. Dude, that's my number one regret. If I can ever go change something, like when I was watching an event, I'd go back to Survivor Series 2020.
3.
Yeah, okay. I'd go back because I slept at my aunt's house last night. So I wasn't with him, I wasn't with my dad. So I was on the couch because my cousin wanted to sleep over, but she was like 5, so she needed somebody to go with her. So I was like, okay. And then I was freaking out. I was sitting there. I couldn't make a noise. I couldn't do anything. There was nobody I had to talk to because we weren't even friends yet. That was the first time we talked about wrestling, was that. Besides maybe when I wore the AEW shirt to gym class and you were like,
Yeah.
WWE's better.
I remember that.
But I remember I was just rocking back and forth, going insane.
All right, let's keep going.
Because the volume was down. So I was like, oh, the show's over. And then I see the Chicago start and I just started freaking out. But Ilya Dragunov, open challenge against Sami Zayn. The match was competitive with several momentum swings at a pivotal moment. Solo Sikoa came out and distracted Sami Zayn, who then dodged Dragunov's torpedo into an exploder in the corner, aimed up for the Helluva Kick, was hit with the torpedo Moscow. He hits the rebound H-bomb, and that's it. And I love, Jaden showed me this tweet. This guy was, Ilya will ask the ref if it was a 3 count after he punched the guy's face in. And it's true. If you watch back the clip, when Gunther tapped, he was like, he tapped. He's like, you promise he's tapped. And when he pinned him clean, it's so funny because the guy's he's a demon. You know he murdered them, and he's still asking if it's a 3 count. Yeah, it's a 3 count. The bell rang. But great match. After the match, MFT attacked Zayn and Dragunov, and then the Wyatts came out to face off against MFT. Just a crazy segment. Felt like when we met Stash.
You know what? I'm scared. What if that's a Survivor Series match because Seth's injured?
You know what I'm gonna talk about real quick? Yo, they messed us up bad in Boston on the 15th, and then they don't even give us Cena's retirement match. That was like the second to last week of MFTs, and Cody wasn't there, and Cena wasn't there. That was like, my mom felt so bad, and she wanted to get a refund, but I was like, dude, the matches were fine though. Other than like having to see MFTs, the show was fine. But that was a great match. Was that? No. Was it really Ilya, Sammy, and then into the main event? I'll check.
I mean, they had the Aleister Priest package.
Oh, MCMG defeat Los Garza on their 1 year anniversary of their WWE debut.
It's been a year?
Yeah.
Holy.
Dude, these guys are so
That was our
good.
third, or like, that was like...
That was one of the first podcasts.
That was our third
because
episode.
I remember, because it was 2 weeks from now. Because that's what they were talking about. 2 weeks from now is when they won the tag titles. That was one of our first podcast episodes.
So it was our fourth episode when they debuted, sixth when they won. I remember that.
Something like that, yeah.
Because sixth episode when they said something.
Yeah, it was something like that. I'm pretty sure that video's unlisted now. In the main event,
so.
the main event changed from Jacob Fatu into Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. It was for the title, and I said to Jaden, I looked him in his eyes and said, do it. Do it. Pull the trigger. You pulled the trigger once tonight on Ilya, which the call was made by Sammy, which I love.
A lot of people don't believe that. Freaking Baron Corbin replied to, I think SRS's tweet, and he said bullshit, and I'm like, what do you know?
Bro, you're not even in the company anymore. I hate when people do that, because I know it's going to sound so blasphemous. Is that the right word? I don't know. But Matt Riddle, like, it's not just because he hates Punk. It's because he's never been in the same room as Punk. And he's talking about, oh yeah, he's a total weirdo. He's talking about AJ Lee. Never been in a locker room with her. And also,
Well, I would hope. I hope not.
but you know what I mean. Like, he's never... Punk wasn't even in AEW during Riddle's time. Maybe for like half of it. But you know what I mean. I said this on Twitter. Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre was a really lackluster ending. Because after all this of Cody Rhodes trying to be the face, giving the crowd what they want, right? He ends the match with DQ by hitting him with the title. What?
I don't know. I was confused.
But it was an okay show. Favorite part, obviously, Ilya's return and title win.
Can I
Love
talk about Big Justice?
Love the guy. Yeah, go ahead.
So we're moving on to WrestleDream.
You did. You got all of them right. I was surprised.
So yeah, we're moving on to WrestleDream. During the pre-show, Big Boom AJ was doing some like promo backstage with Big Justice.
He was in Boca Raton.
Yeah, he was in at a bar, and who was it? Trent Beretta.
Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero.
They started jumping him, and Trent Beretta looks at Big Justice like, "This your daddy?" And he's like, "Yeah."
He's crying, and he throws a double chunk chocolate cookie on the floor. And to end off our podcast, we got to talk about the full entirety of WrestleDream.
Jaden, I'm sorry.
Where Parker, it's going to be bad. Me and Parker are going to go off, and Jaden's going to have to do his best to stay in his seat. Because Jaden, he's not, I wouldn't say Jaden's a tribalist, but he does prefer AEW. And I don't blame you, because
Recently
it's been getting a little bad. Their SmackDowns are demon themselves. We had the ending with Damian and Aleister, very good. We had Ilya's match, very good. But now that Sammy's open challenges are done, the show might suck again, because that was the number one redeeming quality. That's why
We'll see.
That's what I was looking forward to every Friday, was that. So much so that I watched SmackDown last week. Now, when it was in Australia, I watched it in class because I wanted to see who Sammy's opponent was. I didn't want to get spoiled. But now it's time to talk about WrestleDream. We'll talk about the main stuff, the stuff that really importantly mattered.
So the 4 matches we had different.
So the 4 matches, because I think those are the only things that we have to talk about, with what we controversial topic wise for us.
I'll just bring it up now because it's
Oh,
not
no.
part of
No.
No.
Okay.
I was just gonna say Mercedes Moné's opponent was Mina Shirakawa,
And that match was fine.
it was.
but
It wasn't awful. It wasn't amazing.
it's
but
just
it
really
wasn't
technical.
awful.
And Parker, I've grown to like technical. Parker does not like technical at all. He just wants you to murder the other person with like alias matches, which
Yeah.
I don't blame you. That's how I used to be. I'm starting to like technical more.
I could grow on it.
Yeah, I think it's possible, but we gotta talk about the matches that really mattered.
I know them. I'm mad.
Of course you do.
So
I was crying when that happened.
Hurt Syndicate.
Oh, we gotta talk about Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter versus Tekla.
I'm sorry.
I thought Tekla was gonna win because the Triangle of Madness would get involved. Guess what?
Pre-show.
Tony Khan. The Triangle of Madness and everybody else have been banned from ringside. Why is that spot on? Why is that spot on? Why was that spot on? Whoa. Why was that spot on for a second? No, the beginning of that was spot on.
The Triangle of Madness.
No. The beginning of that was spot on. That was actually perfect.
I'm gonna have to.
It wasn't even Tony Khan, it was Excalibur. That would be like, the Triangle of Madness have been banned from ringside. That's literally how he talks. But, yeah, I guess this is just my luck, because AEW likes to make changes or do releases of information after we do predictions, because last time it was, I'm going to pick MJF or Mark Briscoe. Next day, MJF set to film new big Hollywood movie. Are we serious?
When did I win it?
Forbidden Door.
Hey Siri, how long ago was AEW Forbidden Door?
No.
Nope, not June 26th. 2026.
How long ago was...
But yeah, Jamie Hayter Tekla. Jamie Hayter won, so I'm up 1-0 in the predictions.
56 days. So that means next week it'll be 63.
Wait, what? AEW.
Next week it'll be 63, and then so on and so forth.
6-7.
Oh, because you're gonna hit 6-7. Yeah. You want me to hit you with another concerto?
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I thought, buddy. See, I work with children. I wasn't lying. Nope, I'm done. All right, go ahead, talk.
Alright, yeah, so Jamie Hayter beat Tekla. I wasn't paying attention during this match. I just paid attention to the end, because Jonas spoiled it. The next match we had different was the Hart Syndicate versus The Demand, which ended up being, it got announced that it was for the number one contendership for the Trios Championships, so we'll talk about the Trios Championships later. And to three of our, including our producer's surprise probably, the Hurt Syndicate beat The Demand, which I honestly thought The Demand was going to win.
Yeah, because at the time the Ops were faces.
But at that point, I had already retained the title no matter what. And the next match that we had different was...
Freaking... What was it?
It
was Brodito and Don Callis.
And Don Callis family. Brodito wins because Takeshita hit the Rainmaker, or no, Okada hit the Rainmaker on Takeshita.
Takeshita with the Rainmaker.
On what seemed like an accident.
Listen, I don't care what anybody says. If they fight, you gotta give the belt to Takeshita. The amount of aura that man will have if he's the unified champion and the IWGP champion.
He's just mad. It's like he calls him like Okada Hogan.
Okada had the biggest smile on his face when he hit.
Yeah, he didn't really mean it. He didn't really care. But I just...
He didn't need to, but he wasn't like...
Okada's in the same boat as Mercedes for me. I know they're a great wrestler, but they're getting Roman Reigns. I don't have to see them every
They're
week.
getting Charlotte Flair.
Yo, you're the producer, you're not supposed to talk. We also had... What else?
Brodito.
And then Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe. A great, really, really, really stiff and hard-hitting match. Short, yeah, for sure. Stop talking to the producer. At the end, Hangman makes sure he gives his respect to Joe because that's what started the whole storyline. Hobbs is out there and Shibata, and Samoa Joe just lays him out. And they don't even try to act like they don't know what's going on. They just start stomping him in, bro. And the Ops turn heel, which means Hook made the right decision. Because that means they are pieces of trash. They moved on too quick because they wanted the titles, and now they're mad at him. You know what I mean? So,
Something like that.
time to talk about... Now, you're probably thinking, Jonas, you said you had a controversial take. You both said it. It's for the I Quit match. And Jaden's not going to like this. Because Jaden loves both these guys. more than me probably. We got some controversial takes.
Do you want me to go over it first? Because I think you're a little
You
more.
keep saying this. I feel like you're over it. You're like,
No, Parker's. You're gonna want to. Oh.
Do you think yours? Do you think mine's gonna piss us off?
Let him.
Which one was gonna piss him off more? Because I want that to be
You.
the last one.
Mine's different.
All right, so you talk about yours first, and I'll go.
My
back 'cause
only
I'll see
thing
what
is Sting's involvement didn't need to
It
even
was
happen.
weird.
It didn't need to happen. They built it up. They had Darby getting murdered, and then Sting comes out with a metal bat and that causes Moxley to like freak out. Like, I get that Moxley is human and Darby's less of a human and he's more crazy. But like, I don't think that Mox should be scared of a steel bat. And then also, him taking the freaking Scorpion Death Drop, into the broken aquarium.
Oh my
his Back
God.
his back
Oh
was
my
all cut
God.
up. They were literally drowning Darby, waterboarding him. We also had a spot where he took a nice little skewer and stuck it under his finger.
Oh my God, I felt that.
They didn't show it afterwards, which I was kind of mad about, but it's whatever. Darby, I was hoping Darby would jump off the stage. I was hoping, because he would do it. But the whole point was that he was choking him out with the AEW flag, which he was going to hang up in his house now. But I'll set the stage. I'll give it to Parker. If this is really dramatic, we're going to zoom in on his face and editing. We're gonna put some we're gonna put effects to make it look like cinema.
That match did not need to main event the show. And I'm going to go ahead and say it now. The match, I don't think it was bad.
But it was lackluster, I think.
I had texted Jonas multiple times in the night. I'm genuinely nervous for the main event. I'm nervous. They don't make it the main event. Every AEW show, and this isn't a bad thing. I'm just saying, every AEW pay-per-view, no matter what the matches are, the main event's always the
And there was no blood at all. No purposeful blood. No purposeful blood.
And, like...
And so I was expecting Texas Deathmatch at All In this year, levels of blood between the two, and it kind of was really lackluster because I was expecting a lot of stuff to happen. It was just Moxley beating the crap out of Darby and doing some crazy stuff. Like, I was expecting tax. I was expecting maybe his own version of Spike because we all know the tenderizer clip of when he gets suplexed onto it. I was expecting something like that. That spot happened on a Dynamite. Like, I don't know. I still think it's crazy. I think the match could have been better. I think it was a little bit of their own fault, the fact that they made it I Quit, and so it was really hyped up. But then there's no way they can hold up to that without literally one of them dying. So I get why, but I still think I agree with Parker. I think it should not have main evented.
Yeah, so it's just like...
Honestly, if I had to pick something to main event, it would be Brodito versus Don Callis family. That was my favorite match.
I just think I could 100% see... So, like, also, I didn't mind Sting's involvement, I guess.
It was just weird.
I liked
the
it.
The show was weird. That was my thing.
It
literally
cool
felt like a WrestleDream. Because it was just, why is this happening? It was so random. Another shout out to a match was Jurassic Express versus Young Bucks. That match was fun.
That was pretty cool. I don't know how freaking...
But, I mean, anything else we got to say, and then we'll go into the closing.
But, yeah, like I was saying, like, I don't mind Sting's involvement. It's cool to see him. It's just kind of... He's retired 5 times and come back 5 times.
He's retired once at least.
Well, I mean, like, he's come back a bunch of times and saying he's done, and then, you know. But, like, it's just... I honestly think if Joe and Hangman, if they made the match longer, could have main evented, and then they just, like, kill Hangman. Like, they throw him onto, like, through tables, they powerbomb him through the announce table, pile driver onto the chair, muscle buster onto the chair, which, I mean, they did on the title. But, I mean, you know, they just... I just don't think the I Quit match should have main evented. And I was so hyped up for it, and I was barely awake during it.
They should do a dog collar match between them two. That'd be a great ending. I know I said
Hangman
this.
and Joe?
No, with Darby and Mox. I know I said this to you, and I said it to Jaden. They should redeem themselves, and they should do an exploding barbed wire death match.
No floor seats.
And they should just get rid of the floor seats, make the prices cheap if they really need to, and let them actually blow up the ring. Obviously, Mox would win because he's going to get out of there and Darby will stay there. Obviously, if it's not possible without the guy dying, don't do it. But
yeah, no doubt.
They got to do something. I feel like they might do something close to what I was talking about with Edge and Mox, where they might have to redeem themselves with a match on Dynamite, but who knows. But I think that's all we got to talk about. And we all know what time it is. It is time for match and wrestler of the week. Parker,
You go first.
Are you doing both? Or are you doing just the superstar of the
I mean,
week?
I know what your
I'm just doing match.
match is. So you say your match first.
My match-
Let me think.
My TV match is the future TV match of the year, if you're not Parker. And that is Ilya
What's my
Dragunov
TV match of the year?
versus Sami Zayn.
Oh,
the
I
US title.
like Cena Sammy
Which-
better.
You can't even argue. Like, it's up there. It's so hard. But yeah, it was just one of my favorite matches of the week outside of pay-per-view. But we all know what time it is. It is time for Parker's Wrestler of the Week. The most random time in the podcast besides the start. It's time for the Wrestler of the Week. Go ahead, Parker.
I think this is the first time ever where a wrestler's in the match of the week and the wrestler of the week because I'm giving it to Ilya.
Okay.
Just because he returned after 12 and a half months.
Yeah, I mean,
And then wins the title.
we saw some of his best main roster matches immediately.
It was him versus Ricochet.
And
that
then
was awesome.
I went to another show where I saw Ilya versus Drew versus Sheamus.
Sheamus, was it Money in the Bank
Oh my
qualifier?
god, it's
Who won
so
that?
good. It was
right?
Drew. But it was a great episode. Quick little plug. We got quizzes to do today, and we got quizzes from last week or 2 weeks ago that we are uploading soon, hopefully. Go watch the 2K videos. Subscribe to my solo channel, GTS Jonas. Follow us on Twitter. Follow Jaden on Twitter. And keep showing support because we're really cool. And we'll see you in the next one.
Good night.